Okay, so have you ever like gotten that feeling,
Wow.
that politicians aren't really talking to you, they're kind of talking at you?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, all the time.
Right. Like they're more interested in pushing your buttons and getting a rise out of you instead of actually like having a real conversation about the issues, right?
Yeah, it's like they're trying to manipulate you almost.
That's exactly what we're diving into today. Like, how are they doing that? So we're looking at this source, the manipulation of emotions, and it goes deep into the tactics of, well, manipulating emotions in politics. By the end of this, you're going to have a whole new perspective on the political scene, maybe even feel a little more empowered.
Sounds good. It's interesting, right off the bat, this source says that political power, it's not really about like overt control anymore, like back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, like kings and dictators issuing orders and stuff.
Exactly. We're kind of past that.
So if it's not about brute force anymore, then what's the game now? Like, how are they pulling the strings?
Well, the source makes a really interesting point. It says that now it's about making people think they're free while still subtly controlling their emotions so they make the right choices.
Whoa, okay, so it's like sneakier now.
Totally.
You think you're in charge, but really, you're being nudged in a specific direction. It's kind of creepy when you think about it.
It is. It is. And the source points out one of the major tools in this new, let's call it a playbook, is polarization.
Ah, so it's not just that. Like, people naturally disagree on things. The source is saying it's intentional. This division is being, like, fostered on purpose.
Yeah, they say it's like a strategy. They give this example of like social media algorithm,
Oh, right.
designed to create these echo chambers
Yeah.
where we only see info that confirms what we already think.
Hmm.
So you get these extreme viewpoints, people get pushed further apart, and that actually makes them easier to manipulate.
Right, because you're not even hearing the other side anymore. You're just getting, like, fired up about the same stuff over and over.
Yeah.
I can see how that would benefit someone, who wants to control things.
Oh, totally. And then to really lock those divisions in, they weaponize something else, our emotions.
Oh, here we go.
The source specifically calls out fear, anger.
And hope.
Right, right. Powerful motivators.
Well, yeah, when you're scared or angry, it's hard to think straight, right?
Right.
And everyone wants to believe in something good, so hope, that's a strong one, too.
Exactly. The source says these emotions can like completely override logic, which is why they're so effective in campaigns and stuff.
Oh, 100%. Think about all those political ads.
Oh, yeah.
It's all, vote for me, or this terrible thing will happen,
Right.
or the other guy's going to ruin everything.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Vote for me and we'll have a glorious future.
It's all fear and hope all the time. And it works.
Yeah.
And while we're busy freaking out or getting all excited about promises, the source says we're missing the bigger picture.
Yeah, they use this analogy of a circus, which I think is really fitting.
Like that.
Like we're so busy watching the clowns and the acrobats, all this political drama that we don't even see what's really going on, the stuff that actually affects our lives.
Yeah, we get distracted by the spectacle. It's like, have you ever gotten into, like, a really heated political argument online?
Yeah.
You spend hours going back and forth, but did you actually accomplish anything?
Oh my gosh, no. And you just end up feeling frustrated, probably said some things you regret.
Right. And meanwhile, more important stuff is happening that we're not even paying attention to.
Exactly what the source is saying. They're like, wake up, people, regain your focus.
Okay, so how do we do that? How do we escape this circus and actually start seeing clearly?
Well, luckily, the source gives us some pretty solid advice. First of all, fact check everything.
Oh, that's a good one.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't just take things at face value, especially online. We all have that confirmation bias. We tend to look for information that already agrees with what we think. But to break free from that, we've got to actively challenge our own assumptions.
So don't just stay in your little echo chamber, right? Get
Yeah.
out there, see what other people are saying, even if it makes you uncomfortable.
Exactly. And finally, the source is a big advocate for like replacing heated arguments with thoughtful dialogue, ask questions, really listen to understand the other person's perspective, and be open to changing your mind.
Wow, so it's like a whole different way of approaching these conversations.
Yeah, instead of just trying to win an argument, actually try to learn something.
Yeah, it's how we move past those knee-jerk reactions, those manipulated responses, and actually engage with the real issues.
Absolutely.
Like, knowledge is our best weapon against this kind of stuff.
Mm,
If we understand the tactics, we can see through them.
I totally agree. So as you're listening to this, think about it. What's one small thing you can do today to be a more critical consumer of all this political information? Maybe it's fact-checking a news story before you share it, or actually seeking out some different viewpoints.
Because honestly, We deserve better than to be pawns in someone else's game, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for diving deep with us, and remember, stay curious, stay informed. We'll see you next time.